Grant Management Associate, Nakaya Hurlbert. Hi, Nakaya. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Thanks. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And Nakaya joined the United Way during the pandemic. Starting to feel like things are loosening up and you're able to get out and be more involved in the community.
Yeah, definitely. Things have changed a lot in the past year. Very grateful for it. Yeah, getting back into the office has been so nice and lovely, just to see colleagues again in person, in the flesh. It's been good.
Well, I understand we're getting ready for the upcoming Racial Equity Challenge. So what is that?
Yeah, so kind of a broad overview, I guess I'll give. An equity challenge, it's really kind of taken off in the past 5 years with lots of organizations nationally, but also more locally at United Ways. We've really kind of embraced this strategy to do 21-day equity challenges. And in Equity Challenge, we're going to focus on race and a racial equity challenge this February coming up. And it's just 21 days, work days. You'll register, sign up for an email. So every day of February, you'll get an email right in your inbox that covers a topic for that day. And then lots of information like Netflix recommendations, podcast recommendations, book recommendations underneath to really explore those topics, those important topics even further.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear about Netflix recommendations because sometimes we'll just watch the menu screen.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, so I'll recommend not to watch White Noise on Netflix. Is anybody taking my recommendation? So having this challenge, we're not physically going to United Way and doing something every day for 21 days.
No, we wouldn't do that to you. No. So this is really grounded in that understanding, so the recognition that we have disparities in each of our communities, right? And identifying those disparities, whether it be racism, people with disabilities, individual veterans. These are kind of marginalized communities who historically have been underserved. So what this challenge hopes to do is take that just kind of general acknowledgement one step further. So we recognize the racial disparities. So what do we do next, right? And the 21-day equity challenge is really that next step to engage more, to really articulate and see new terms and new concepts, to kind of develop that community conversation, that family conversation, right? Those conversations with colleagues. So no, you're from the comfort of your office, your couch, wherever you get emails. You just go through and we send you an email with a topic, say of redlining, right? Many people don't know what redlining is, and it has to do with housing discrimination for marginalized communities, particularly Black or African American communities. So we'll do a deep dive into redlining and explain what it is, and then give you further information, more localized information. So there'll be Jackson information, because we have a history of that here, right? There'll be capital area information for those who are more interested in, Lansing and those counties, right?
So this is occurring during Black History Month. Is that on purpose?
It is intentional, yes. Well, we definitely recognize that, yes, it is. There is overlay there, intentional overlay there. Yes, yeah.
So continuing the conversation, during the unrest, the George Floyd, and there was a period of time where it was on the top of mind for many people, and it went away. You as an organization don't want it to go away.
Absolutely not. The problem hasn't gone away, so the conversation needs to continue, right? And our action needs to continue. I think everyone is in a different place, and United Way, right? We don't by any means pretend to have all of the answers. However, we do want to have those conversations in our communities. Now, it used to be just Jackson, right, for us, but now it's it's broader, right, to include many more communities. So we really want to localize these conversations that we're having to affect that change, to make the marginalized not marginalized anymore, right, to support everyone in our communities equally.
And you've done this before. You've had other challenges in the past. Tell us about the one that you most recently had in Jackson.
Yeah, so a year ago, January of 2022, we rolled out a racial equity challenge here, specifically in Jackson. So this is pre-merger, and we had 130 participants. It was really
wow.
great. Yeah, it was really awesome for us. Lots of community conversations and networking and just relationship building off of that. Now going into the merger, so April, so we had that in the Jackson Equity Challenge in January. April, we merged with Battle Creek and Kalamazoo and Capital Area United Ways. And then this past August, United Way of South Central Michigan rolled out a Disabilities Equity Challenge. And that had over 1,400 participants. So we see a need and a desire for donors, for companies, for friends and family to really engage with these topics and these hard conversations, to address, to affect change, right, in these areas, instead of just thinking about it or instead of just talking about it, right? So actually putting, our feet to the ground and doing the work.
Other than what you've already done, like the Disability Equity Challenge, this upcoming Racial Equity Challenge, are there other groups or peoples that are also worth having an equity challenge for?
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great point. So so kind of to step back a little bit to contextualize, United Way, a lot of our information and our data comes from a biennial report we call an ALICE report. So this ALICE report stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. That report informs what communities really need targeted support, right? Structural support. And right now we are queuing up to do a 21 21-day racial or 21-day equity challenge for the LGBTQ plus community, as well as we've just did the people with disabilities community. Veterans is another demographic that we hope to serve with this challenge. So really just identifying and targeting and honing in on those communities that definitely need structural support and improvement.
So this focus on equity, how does that alter or impact the mission or anything that you're doing? Is it just informing what you do, or does it change what you do?
I think it does both, right? Working so equity informs everything that we do in our community, in each of our unique communities. We're fortunate with the merger. We've been fortunate enough to be able to welcome a chief equity officer who leads us in making sure our actions and our activities and our relationship building in each of our communities really focused around equity, and making sure that our resources are being funneled into the right areas, and making sure we're leading the way in our communities and just being a member and fostering those community relationships to affect this change. So equity is paramount to everything that we do at United Way.
So this 21-day challenge, so it's each work day in February.
Yep.
To participate, there's not a limit on how many people can participate, is there?
Not at all.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Like overload the servers. I don't know if that's the correct term, but so you're going to visit. If you'd like to join, we'd love to have you. Let your family know, your colleagues. This is open to everyone. You don't have to be in Jackson County. You don't have to be in, Kalamazoo County. You can be anywhere. But so you're going to go to our new, freshly, launched United Way website. It's www.united for United
Let's see if
for
I have it.
UWSCMI. Or wait, no,
I don't even know what it is.
United for South Central Michigan. That's it. Okay, so it's UNITEDFORSCMI.org.
Okay.
So UnitedForSCMI.org. Oh, and then right on the home page, we've queued it up. So all you have to do, you'll just see a button and you click it, and then you can register for our 21-day racial equity challenge starting February 1st.
And then each day, everyone that's signed up, they'll get something emailed to them
Yep.
It'll be their daily challenge.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So the challenge is, right, we all have a lot of emails coming into our inbox, right? We all kind of have that, just a lot of information. The challenge is to read that email. You can interact with it for 90 seconds, you can interact it with 5 minutes, you can interact it for 2 hours, watching that next Netflix film. Just interact with it and spend as much or as little time as you care to with the topic of that day. But I think the most important thing is just engage. Just open that email and just acknowledge, receipt of this new term, right? Exposure to something new, yeah.
And are you gathering feedback or data? Is there a quiz? Are there?
No quizzes. I promise we won't do that to you. But there are surveys. It helps us identify who's taking, who's participating in the challenge. It helps us. You don't have to, fill out all the surveys, but it's super helpful for us to, hone in on the information and the data to make this more effective and impactful for each of our communities. But yeah, no quizzes. This is all just very you engage with it at the level that you want to engage with it. The important thing is just engaging with it. The challenge is to engage with it every day for 21 days.
And it's not just for the month of February, because you have a permanent section on your website for DEI.
Yep, so this doesn't disappear on March 1st. Everything will populate everything right on our website. And so you can take a look. You can even go right now and look at our previous disability equity challenge from this past August. Really great information for you to enjoy, context, topics, resources, referrals, all of those things.
Well, I'll check it out, and we'll invite you to do the same. So sometime between now and February 1st, sign up.
Yep, definitely. If it's February 2nd, still sign up. February 3rd, still sign up. We'll be there.
All right, well, we'll be anxious. We'll check in with you after it's all over and
Cool.
See how we all did. Great to see you. Thanks.
Thank you.
The Grant Management Associate with United Way of South Central Michigan, Nikaya Hurlbert.